everyone, this is Mindy Eggen for Tailored Expressions, and in today's video, I want to share with you ideas on how you can really extend the possibilities of the TE maps included in the Talking in Circles card kit. So I am going to be using those maps to create different colored backgrounds other than what's included on those maps. Let's take a look at the supplies I'm going to be using. I have the Mini Slim TE maps, the TE Circles half and quarter die. I'll be using the Mini Slim Postage Stamp Stacklets, the You Color Me Happy stamp and coordinating die, and Champagne Glitter Cardstock. I have Oreo ink for the stamping of the sentiments. I'm also going to be using large and small non-stick scissors. I have a craft pick and a bone folder. I will be using my tweezers and repositionable tape. I have both sizes for the foam strips. And then the magic tool in all of this is going to be the press and seal. Not shown is a Misty stamp positioner and also a paper trimmer, and then I also do have a scoring board. One thing I did not show here are my colors of cardstock, and the reason for that is because I did a bunch of die cutting off screen using the half circles. I placed all of my pieces in the simple storage for tiny things, and I am going to pick out a rainbow of color. So I will list off the colors that I'm using here, starting with cherry pop, bubblegum, lollipop, pink champagne, peaches and cream, candy corn, pineapple, Dijon, evergreen, lime zest, poblano pepper, rock candy, confetti cake, cookie monster, jelly donut, and eggplant. I'm taking all of those colors and matching them up similar to what the TE map looks like right now. I am using the TE map as a starting point, and once I have all of my colors picked out, I'm going to take that repositionable tape and I'm going to place it over all of those areas on the TE map. So that repositionable tape covers both halves, and then I could start taking my different colors and placing them over the top. So this is just going to temporarily hold these in place so they don't move around on the front of my map. All of these colors look really great on the white cardstock that it is printed on and also the toffee version, but I wanted to extend the possibilities of using different colors of cardstock for my background and also possibly stenciling on a background first. After I went through and lined up all of the different half pieces, I'm going to take a piece of press and seal. This is going to have kind of a tack on one side. I'm going to place it over the top of my design and then really push down over those circles so that the cardstock sticks to my press and seal. I'll then take my scissors and trim off any excess at the bottom. I want to keep my press and seal pretty close to the size of the mini slim panel. And then I'm going to start carefully peeling this away. Now, this is a little bit tedious, but I think the results absolutely pay off. The repositionable tape that's kind of temporarily holding it, I'm just kind of carefully placing my finger in there to peel up the cardstock and then also pull that white cardstock away so that all of my circles are stuck to that press and seal. If any of the circles kind of shift out of place, I can carefully position them back since I do have the basic design of it. And I thought this was just a really great way to take that map design that TE is providing and transfer this to any background and any color of cardstock. Off screen, I went ahead and die cut the mini slim postage stamp stacklets out of blue corn cardstock. I'm taking the foam strips, and this is the thicker version, and I'm using my scissors to create kind of a fringe on the strips so that I can place them behind all of those circle halves to pop them up for a little dimension. Again, this is just an extra step. You could just add adhesive to the back of all of the circles and place it directly onto the card front, but I do like adding that little bit of pop of dimension. To remove the backing on all of the foam strips, I like to hold the cardstock down on that press and seal with my craft pick and then carefully peel up the backing. Sometimes by picking up the backing, we can also be picking up the circle off of the press and seal, so you do want to be careful of that. I'm going to put a little bit of that repositionable tape on the back of my postage base, and that's going to secure it down to the work surface so it doesn't shift around while I'm trying to line up my circles. So I'm looking through the press and seal and I'm going to place that down, trying my best to get the margins as even as possible. You could also possibly put some liquid glue on the back of those foam squares or those foam strips to give you just a little bit more wiggle room, and then I can carefully peel up the press and seal. And now I have that really fun design transferred to a different color of cardstock. This was a lot easier than me trying to eyeball all of those halves up onto the card front itself. I created a card base using a sugar cube cardstock and my scoring board. And once I fold that in half and reinforce that fold, I'm going to line the back of my panel with some of the foam strips as well. This is the same depth and dimension as what I used on my circles. You could add it directly to the card front or use thinner foam. I just was really in a dimensional mood when I was creating with this kit. Then again, once I remove the backing, I can place this on the front of my card base. I do have the card base held together with a little bit of that repositionable tape in the inside so that it doesn't pop open on me and I can line that up straight. I will add a sentiment to this in just a little bit. I wanted to create one more card using this same type of technique. I picked out another design off of these TE maps in the mini slim version. There's also the A2 size version as well. And for these colors, I am using confetti cake, cookie monster, tropical punch, and champagne glitter cardstock. This one is using all quarters, and this one is a little bit more tedious, a little bit more time consuming, but I think the end results again absolutely pay off. So I had put that repositionable tape on all of those areas to hold all of those quarter pieces in place, put the press and seal over the top, and I will put a disclaimer here that the glitter cardstock did not want to stick to the press and seal very well. So this one was a little harder to take off of that card base. I kind of let the glitter pieces just float off if it needed to be, and I could fix those later on. It was pretty easy to match those up since I did have the other color cardstock in there. I have a card panel die cut once again from that mini slim postage stacklet, this time die cut out of sour gummy. I had lined the back of all of those quarter pieces with small pieces of foam strips, removed the backing, and placed that over the top of my card panel. And even though this one was a little bit more work involved with it, I absolutely love how that color combination came out. So this one, I am lining the back with the thinner foam strips. So this one isn't going to have as much dimension as my other card. Again, I held my card base together with that repositionable tape in the inside and then placed my panel over the top. The sentiment that I'm going to pick out is from the You Color Me Happy stamp set. When I pulled this out of the packaging, apparently I had already stamped and die cut all of the sentiments. So I am using what I already have stamped. This is stamped on sugar cube cardstock in Oreo ink, and I most likely used my Misty stamping tool. I picked out sentiments that I thought went really well with these backgrounds, like "Hope your day is a masterpiece," because I feel like that is a masterpiece. And then "Sending you a rainbow of happiness" just went so perfectly with that rainbow background. Now, both of these sentiments, I did put some of the thin foam strips behind them and pop them up on the front of my card. The mini slimline is such a really fun size, and I really like that Tailored Expressions carries envelopes that are going to fit these. So I hope this idea of being able to take that TE map and transferring it to any background that you want to create with these helps inspire you with this card making kit. This kit is now available over at Tailored Expressions website while supplies last. Thank you all so much for joining.